Hello, good morning, and welcome. It's Tracy Daviera with your VA Mentor here for our weekly live. Yeah, how are you guys doing? I guess we're doing pretty well, keeping on track with these every week at 10 a.m. for you. And I'm glad for those of you who can attend live. You can put it in your calendar. I'm going to be here from now till, well, the foreseeable future anyway at 10 a.m. So every Tuesday, and look forward to sharing my tips and information and that kind of thing for people in the VA industry or those of you who are considering getting into it. So today my topic is in-demand services for VAs. This is something that I get asked quite often whenever I'm speaking with VAs or people who are thinking about becoming a VA. And because one of the things that everybody, well, I shouldn't say that. I say everybody, I generalize. That's not what I mean. But a lot of people are considering getting into the VA industry because they want to provide a certain service. And I'm going to just cut straight to the chase on it. A lot of people who are not VAs yet think that they can start a social media service. That's what they want to open a VA business, and that's what they want to do. And you guys know, with all the training that I do and all the teaching and everything like that you see me everywhere, I always tell people that the best place to start to open your business is with what you know how to do right now. Now, that doesn't mean that you always have to do whatever that is. I started with some basic bookkeeping and that kind of thing because I had that skill. I knew how to do it, but I didn't love it. But it was a way for me to be able to get clients into my business and get some revenue coming in, so that then I could take some training and pay for some training and get certified in other things. And so I ended up moving into internet marketing fairly quickly because that was really something that I wanted to do. And interestingly enough, I actually started offering social media services as well, but I just found that I couldn't keep up with the changes, and I wasn't all that interested in actually doing it. I knew that people didn't really understand social media at that time when I started. And so, it was appealing to be able to offer a service that clients needed but didn't really know a lot about. But what I found was that it just was not something that I wanted to keep up on. And so I actually took it right out of my repertoire and started suggesting to my clients that we would get someone else in, to handle the social media pieces. But a lot of VAs do want to begin that way. And it's a great goal, because it's certainly obviously I'm coming to you on social media here. So it is a great goal for what you want to be doing in your business, but it may not be the thing that you start out with. And I always want to make that really clear, is that the best way to get clients is to talk to them about things that you already know how to do, not talking to them about things that you're sort of learning or that maybe you've done a little bit yourself and that kind of thing. You really want to make sure that you're confident in what it is that you're talking to your clients about. So a couple of other in-demand services, because there's no question social media is definitely in demand. It's definitely something that clients still need help with. Like I said, I was 10, 12 years ago, it was in demand then, and it's even more so now, because people look at it as a really good way to market their business, increase their visibility, do a lot of different things. And so connect with people, follow up, all that kind of thing. And so it is an excellent way to get your business kind of on the map, if you want to say, because so many people's clients are already here on social media. But it's not the only area that business owners need support. And so a couple of other in-demand services that I kind of wanted to mention today is, first of all, general admin. I know that I say this often, but I will continue to say it because I think it's a really important thing to note, is a lot of people starting out, a lot of women starting out, think that they want to start offering general admin and then switch to something else. But here's the fact, is that the majority of business owners, actually, I always say all business owners, have admin tasks in their business that they need to do in order to keep their business running, right? And that's there's a variety of things that go into that, depending on what their business is. But when we are looking for support in our business, that's one area that every single business owner needs. So it's always going to be an in-demand service. It basically is a specialty as far as I'm concerned. I know it says general right in the title, but it really is a very clear specialty, because the people who do it well are the ones who, they're in business long term. I should gather up some statistics on that, or do a survey or something, because I know the majority of the VAs that I know, and I will say this I can't give you a stat, but the majority of the VAs that I know are working in general admin because it is the highest demand support service that business owners need. It's the thing that they're not good at. It's the thing that takes up too much of their time, that, you know, that it's not revenue generating for them to be able to do the things that that a general admin can do. And they often don't have the expertise to do it. So client care, also another big in demand service. And client care basically is customer service. I don't know at what point I started calling it client care, but I find I have to explain myself quite often because people don't really understand what I mean by client care. So it comes out of my mouth, I mean customer service, that's it. So looking after the clients, you know, your clients, when they come in, when they do their payments, their paperwork, their scheduling, whatever else that may be, or whatever else that might entail. Those are the things that that fall under client care. And again, it is really important for many industries. I used to work with the speakers and coaches, and it was an essential position on their team. Every single speaker I knew had a client care representative. So very much in demand for certain industries. Other people may not need it. I don't know if maybe the travel industry may not need it because they're doing a lot of one-to-one connections with people, or financial planners. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? So but definitely I know various industries most definitely need client care support and someone to manage that. Social media, we've already talked about. Project management is another big one. When people get to a certain income level, and when I was working with clients, my clients were making 6 and 7 figures. So they were busy people. They had a lot going on. They had a lot of clients. They had a lot of people on their team. Usually there was, you know, a website person, and you know, there were lots of different, a social media person, obviously, because I didn't do it. And then, you know, there was me who did marketing, and then there was usually a client care person as well. So a lot of different people, a lot of balls in the air. And so project management can be a really big one as well for you to manage all of the balls. If you're not managing the website person, you could potentially manage the, you know, the flow of the project and that kind of thing. And I did a lot of that as well. So project management is always going to be a fairly big in-demand service because there's so many things to keep track of. It's generally good to have someone who's skilled at that type of thing, skilled at organization, delegation, at, you know, keeping everybody on track, deadlines, and that kind of thing. So graphics is another, you know, high in demand specialty with all of the visual social media that's going on now. I think it's really a growing sort of service offering. Yeah, I guess it's a service offering. It usually goes hand in hand with maybe social media or something else, but oftentimes it doesn't either. If that's not something that I'm skilled at, is doing graphics, and so I would have to have somebody doing that. And technically it's not, I didn't say technically, usually it's not the website people who are doing that because of the fast turnaround oftentimes is needed, right? If you need several images for Instagram and, you know, a weekly image for your newsletter, those kinds of things you want to make sure that are getting done consistently, and that you have, you know, your lead times are in place for that. So graphics is another really in demand sort of service for VAs, whether that's a singular service or all-encompassing service. And email marketing is something that's still really popular. Most, you know, I know that a lot of people say email marketing is dead. It's totally not. I think there's still lots of people building their lists and communicating with their audience via, you know, a regular newsletter, whatever that is, or regular email marketing. And so there's lots of different services that you can use to provide that type of service. And so you can use Constant Contact, MailerLite, MailChimp, Aweber. I use Infusionsoft. Obviously, it's a little more than an email system, but there's lots and lots of different ones out there. And so, you know, that's as things get a little bit more hosted online, you know, and people are doing things like newsletters and that type of thing. There's a lot of specialty out there of people doing automation sequences for follow-up and segmentation of lists and all kinds of things like that. And it does technically fall into the marketing area. So you may need some marketing tips or marketing training to be able to provide something like that. But certainly in terms of just getting, you know, newsletters together and getting correspondence out and that type of thing, that's the way you can start. So anything that you're going to do in terms of something that's in demand, you really want to obviously have training in it. You have to have some experience and expertise in it. And don't be afraid to start with where you are now and make a plan to get to where you want to go. If email marketing is something that you really want to do in a particular system, say you wanted to, use Infusionsoft or use ConvertKit or Drip or whatever all the other ones are, all the fancy ones, the big systems. Get some revenue coming into your business now. Take some training in those things, and then selling a new service to clients after you've already got the experience as a VA. It's a lot easier to do. So I hope that gives you a few sort of ideas of what you can offer as services, or maybe the things that are kind of in demand at this point. There are lots more. I just picked a few to talk about today. And I would love to hear your questions and comments and see what you guys think about what you're doing, what you're moving towards and looking towards offering services in your business. Thanks. We'll see you next week.